Hey, this is Jesús Luzardo, and welcome to the Phillies Show.
Our junior Jim Salisbury, Todd Zolecki. It's Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Hope everybody's doing well. Big win on Wednesday night for the Phillies. They clinch a first-round bye. Very, very important, but they did it in a very fun way. They hit a franchise record, 8 home runs. And let's start right there, guys. It's time for the Park's first pitch. First pitch is brought to us exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. Man, 8 home runs. Never seen it in a game. Ever. Phillies history. They had hit 7 home runs 4 times. Heck of a way to clinch the bye, guys.
What a night. Late September back in 25. I mean, seriously.
Love it.
Break it out.
Breaking it out. What were the atmospheric conditions? The ball was flying and, no Harper, no Real Muto, no Turner. Oh, let's hit 8 home runs, right? I mean, incredible way to go in the front door for that bye, which I think is very important because you're going to get that rest. And Kyle Schwarber is going to get his rest next week. I say play him right out, pedal to the metal, go after that 58, 59, whatever you can do. He's just so much fun to watch.
I agree.
Historic night, as you said. I loved every minute. Balls were just flying. And it couldn't, for me, it couldn't have happened to a better person as far as Edmundo Sosa was concerned. He'd been out, 12 days or whatever it was, had not played for quite some time. And for him to bounce back and not only sort of solidify the middle infield a little bit, because I'd much rather have him at short and certainly, Stott at second base, even though Stott did a heck of a job at shortstop while both those guys, Turner and Sosa, were out. He held down the fort very well. But I guess I have to say something about Edmundo Sosa. I love this player. So I think about, the impact that certain players have on a team and the type of people that they are. And I sort of have him on the level of a guy like Chooch. So Chooch was one of my favorite players of all time and favorite people of all time that I've ever dealt with in the game. Edmundo Sosa is the most humble. He's the most gracious. And he is he is so fortunate, feels genuinely fortunate to be able to major league player and to play on this team. And for him to do that and to have that kind of impact on the team is pretty amazing. But he does it pretty much every single time he plays. He does something to impact the game every single day. I think that Rob Thompson's given him a ton of confidence. He believes in him, thinks he's a wonderful player and a person, and trusts him pretty implicitly. And I think that that's helped bring his game forward. Just a really, really wonderful thing. And as far as Schwarber is concerned, he's must-see TV, man. He could hit 65 home runs. He might. Every single swing is a possible home run.
That's a great comp between Sosa and Chooch, both from Panama. Both bringing in a love of the game and an exuberance that is infectious. And another great point, I think Rob Thompson, this is the guy that St. Louis gave up on. Tremendous acquisition by the Phillies in a kind of a nondescript trade at the time. Utility infielder, bounce around guy. Well, he's been a great pickup by this organization. And Rob Thompson is a confidence builder. He is a connector with players. He knows how to bring it out of guys. And I do think he's given Sosa a ton of confidence. You're right. He makes something happen all the time. I don't think you can overuse him. But, man, when you sprinkle him in just right, a week here, a week there, 3 games here, 4 games here, instant offense, instant electricity coming off the IL after 12 days and hitting 3 bombs and having that big smile. You look – the entire team feels the same way about him as you just explained. You watch the reaction in the dugout. They are genuinely happy for this man. So it takes all the pieces, and he's a great one to have in that utility role.
How about just the 3rd home run in the 7th inning, almost fan interference. And he's on second base. He's kind of like signaling to the dugout. He's kind of having fun out there doing all these hand gestures. He was having a great time, even though he's like, some players might be sitting there going, all right, they better give me this third home run. But he was like, all right, I hit 2. I'm saying he was having fun with the players in the dugout. I love the comp of Carlos Ruiz. Absolutely one of the all-time most popular guys in that clubhouse during that run. And a great quote last night. I talked with Alec Bohm, and I asked him of all the home runs that you saw hit tonight, besides your own, which one was your favorite? And he says Sosa getting 3. And he said, first day off the IL. And he said, other than myself, there's no one I'd rather see hit 3 homers. He's just always ready to play. He's always a great teammate. It makes it even cooler when it happens to everybody's favorite guy. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. Yeah, boom. So, there you go. And then Schwarber, Ryan Howard was at the ballpark last night. I saw him outside going down to the press elevator down into the clubhouse. He was standing in the hallway talking with Bonnie Clark from the Phillies. And I was like, how about that? He's like, oh, they came ready to hit tonight. I said, oh, he might be trying to run you down. He's like, he might catch me. So the big piece was there, which is funny because we just talked to him late last week. And if you haven't checked out that episode, check it out on Monday. But Kyle Schwarber, 55 and 56 home runs, most home runs in a season in baseball history, a left-handed batter versus a left-handed pitcher.
Unbelievable. In history.
Incredible. In history. And the guys on the list that are right behind him now, Matt Olson, 22, Stan Musial, 22, and then right behind him, Barry Bonds, 21, and Ken Griffey Jr., 21. Ken Griffey Jr. did it twice. So just absolutely incredible.
What a historic night, man. First time in the history of the franchise, 3 home runs from shortstop from Sosa. And then this guy does this historic, thing about against the left-handers on his way possibly to the most home runs in Phillies history in a season.
Right.
Those names you mentioned are some of the greatest ever. Stan Musial, look at Stan Musial's career. When they mention the greatest players of all time, like top 2 or 3, 4. He should be in the discussion. Look at his career. Griffey Jr. right there. Bonds obviously right there. Hell of an accomplishment for a guy who used to platoon and couldn't hit left-handers. What an amazing improvement he's made to become just a complete hitter.
And that's what he said last night when asked about the 23 homers against lefties. I go back to 2020 being non-tendered and then signing a 1-year deal, and then he made a point to mention Kevin Long and, and how much respect he has for him and just how he helped kind of get his career back on track with the Nationals in 2021. So he was kind of thinking the same thing. The 4 home runs they hit in the 7th inning, the most homers the Phillies have hit in one inning since August 17th, 1985. They did that in the 7th inning against the Cubs that night. It was Juan Samuel, Glenn Wilson, Mike Schmidt, and Darren Dalton. So just all sorts of cool, fun numbers that come out of a game like this. Bryson Stott hit his first homer against the lefties since May of 2024, longest home run of his career. Talking to Otto Kemp after the game, I said, wow, that was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, I think this is the first franchise record I've ever been a part of. I'm like, well, you might be on there. It might be on that list for a while, buddy.
For a long time.
Actually, I think he set the record in Lehigh Valley for most times getting hit by a pitch, because when it's inside, he just does not move. He's like a tree. He does not move. He just takes it. But
so I got to say, just before we finish this first pitch, I got to say one thing. Any similarities or parallels to what David Ortiz went through? Non-tendered by Minnesota, goes to Boston.
Very.
Then Schwarber gets non-tendered. Was it by Chicago? Is that who he's non-tendered by?
Cubs.
Non-tendered by the Cubs, goes on to have this kind of career. What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of similarities there, man. It's crazy.
And he becomes a franchise icon in Boston, and you can see it trending that way for Kyle Schwarber. He is 1 World Series championship and 1 contract extension away from being a Philadelphia franchise icon.
And I want to say, Jim, you touched on this. He's got to play this weekend. He's He's DHing. There's no
Don't
need
worry, he's playing.
Right. Well, and Rob Thompson said that, but there's no reason to rest him. He's DHing. If they want to get somebody else off their feet, don't play the other guy.
Yeah.
Don't play.
No, you got to play. That's why you got the bye. He's young. He's 31.
He's playing 4 straight games.
Yeah, you play. You rest next week. That's why you got the bye. He's in good shape. I mean, this is like sleep when you die, right? Sleep when you die. You're going to go for a franchise record. You're going to go for a World Series. Pedal to the metal, 5 more weeks. You can do it, and I'm sure he would tell you the exact same thing.
Absolutely. I love it.
Hey, that was First Pitch, and it's presented exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. ParksCasino.com is the website. You must be 21. You must be 21. I almost said you must be 18, but you must be 21 to participate. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kratz, let's talk about Omaha Steaks, and it's not just steaks. It's chicken wings. It's smash burgers. Big deli style franks. There are a number of categories that you can hit all in one place. They've been doing it for a long time. They're the best in the biz. And if you got a good filet, life's good, man.
But you got to finish every meal with some delectable desserts, too. They have those, too, to go along with these delicious steaks.
Apple caramel tarts on the list, among many other menu items to check out. Be the hero that orders Omaha Steaks and is the most popular person in your household. So get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35 off, $35 off on top of that, use promo code FOUL at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. See site for details.
We are back. Guys, we got some new swag. We got quarter zips now available at thephillyshowshop.com. If anybody's interested in supporting the show more than you already are, and we obviously appreciate your support. So scan the QR code on the screen. It'll take you to the team store, the show store. Get some cool stuff. We've been selling some people like the coffee mugs, the hoodies, all that great stuff. So check that out.
I'm in on the quarter zip. Are you kidding?
Get on the quarter zip. You look nice on the golf course, Ruben.
Believe that.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. So I want to ask you guys about the bye real quick, but I was looking at the kind of continuing on the 8 home run night. One last thing, I was looking at the 4 home run games, and it's just fun to kind of see some of the names that pop up in these historic, previously franchise record 7 home run games. They had one on August 28th, obviously, when Schwarber hit 4. JT, Max Kepler, Bryce Harper also homered in that game. I would bet you, I'm not going to give you guys too much time on this, but June 1st, 2021 against the Reds, the Phillies hit 7 home runs. I'm going to bet that you guys can't name more than 2 players on this list that hit home runs on this game. I'm going to see what you guys can do. June 1st, 2021.
Garrett Stubbs one.
Nope. you're thinking guys that are unlikely. So I like where you're going with this. Andrew McCutchen hit 2. Rhys Hoskins hit 1.
Scott Kingery.
I mean, you're thinking in the right frame of mind. That you're right.
Odubel Herrera, was it Odubel on the team?
Odubel Herrera hit 2 that night. Good job, Ruben. And there's 2 other what I would say way more obscure than that. I'll give it to you guys. Matt Joyce.
Oh my gosh.
And Ronald Torreyes.
Oh my God.
What?
So Joe Girardi was the manager.
He loved his big toe.
He loved the big toe.
He loved the big toe and Ronald Torreyes. So I was looking at those names. I was like, wow. They hit July 26, 2018 against the Reds. They also hit 7. Rhys Hoskins hit 2. Carlos Santana. Nick Williams hit 2. Michael Franco hit 2. September 8th, 1998 against the Mets. Rico Brogna hit 2. Kevin Sefcik hit 2. Bobby Estelela hit 2. And Marlon Anderson hit 1. So kind kind of fun looking at those names, looking back and going, oh my God, Bobby
I think
Estelela.
I was on that team. What was that last one you were talking about?
1998, September 8th, 1998.
That's my last year.
Is that your last year? Okay.
That was like literally days before I became the assistant GM.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So guys, the Phillies clinched the first round bye because of their win last night. And so they're going to be locked into the number 2 seed unless the Brewers collapse. And I don't even, I don't even know what happened if they can get the number 1 seed. I should off the top of my head, but they're
outside chance, I think.
Yeah, outside chance.
But
but they're locked into the number 2 seed pretty much, which means they'll be playing the number 3 seed or the number 6 seed, whoever wins that NL wildcard series. So it's going to be either the Dodgers or the Mets or the Reds or the Diamondbacks. Nobody wants to win that number 6 seed. The Reds, since they overtook the Mets, have lost 2 in a row. They lost in extra innings on Wednesday night against the Pirates. It was fun. We were waiting in the clubhouse for players to come out, and you hear the coaches in the coaches room were watching the game, and they were going nuts just as that Reds game kind of played out. Any thoughts on the bye and who you think they might play?
I just think, honestly, you talk about the National League wild card, who's going to get the final one? The Mets up by a game with the Reds and the Diamondbacks right there, game back, head into the final weekend. It has been an amazing final week all over baseball. I mean, you look what the Phillies did last night, bashing the ball all over the place. You look at this Mets collapse, trying to hang on, getting the wild card. Can the Reds or the Diamondbacks do it? I mean, the Diamondbacks were sellers. Now they're right there. But you look over in the American League, the Yankees have evened it up with the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are nosediving. The Tigers are in the middle of a historic swan dive. The Cleveland Indians now lead the American League Central by a game. They were 11 games back. They were 11 games back this month. And then you look at Cal Raleigh bashes 2 last night to go to 60 as they won a division for the first time since 2001 when they won 116 games. This Tigers collapse is amazing. It's been a fabulous final week, and it's going to continue right to the end. The races have, even though we're in an era where with the wild card and 6 teams in each league, and that can dilute a race, these races are fantastic.
So let me ask this question. So the Detroit Tigers could actually be out of the playoffs completely.
They're only like a game up, right?
I think they're only a game up on like the wild card.
The last one, yeah.
And
amazing.
So, I mean,
15 up.
It will go down as one of the greatest collapses since 1964, maybe even greater. And the one with the Mets when we beat them in 2007.
It's huge. Yeah. I can only imagine what the fans are doing, what that town is like.
I have a someone who married my aunt, who's a Tom Zerger, who is a huge Detroit Tigers fan, and every time I go there, we spend time. He is distraught. Hang in there, Zerg. Hang in there, baby.
I'm sure the talk radio. I'm sure the talk radio there in Detroit is really patient.
Well, the Tigers have lost 8 in a row. The Astros have lost 5 in a row. The Astros are a game behind the Tigers right now for that last wild card spot. So it's same thing. Like no one wants to win it.
No one wants it. They're all backing in.
Yeah, the Mets lost last night. The Diamondbacks lost last night. The Reds have lost 2 in a row. So can't wait to see how that shakes out. But yeah, you're right.
But getting tighter and tighter, boys.
Tight sphincters.
Yeah.
Tight sphincters, Ruben. You are right about that.
Yeah.
But I like the, you mentioned like the 6 teams in every league, Jim. I love it. I mean, it's made everything a lot more exciting. Get more teams involved, more cities involved, more people interested in baseball for longer. And you never know that, somebody was saying to me in the clubhouse last night, who's going to beat the Dodgers and the Mets, Diamondbacks, or Reds? I'm like, well, have you seen the Dodgers bullpen lately?
That bullpen is an atrocity. They have to put some starters in the pen.
Anything can happen. Anything can
happen.
Happen.
And that's what I mean. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, you have if Shohei Ohtani is starting whatever, say game 1 of the wild card series, and he punches out 13 Reds in 6 scoreless innings, and now he's reached his pitch count, and now you have to go to, Trinan, and it sounds funny saying these names because historically they're so damn good. Tanner Scott, and you have put a couple guys on, and Ellie De La Cruz hits a bomb. They win 3-2. Now we're going to Cincinnati. So,
hey, the one team I do not want to face because their bullpen's so great is San Diego.
Very good bullpen.
San Diego is a scary team right now. Yeah. And, I'm more afraid of San Diego than any other team in the National League for me.
That would be, well, the way it's leaning right now, they probably would not play them until the NLCS.
I hope not.
Yeah, NLCS, because the Padres have looks like a 5.5 game lead over the Mets for the fifth seed. So it looks like it's going to be Cubs Padres in a wild card series, and then Dodgers versus again Mets, Diamondbacks, Reds. So but it's a great place to watch if you want to watch Kyle Schwarber try to run down the big piece about the big piece. Try to run down the big piece. If you want to watch the Mets madness, the Diamondbacks madness, the Reds madness, the Tigers, the Guardians, all these teams, Park Casino Sportsbook, Park Casino would be a heck of a place to watch.
That's right, Todd. Park Casino is my casino of choice, and they have it all: action, excitement, headline, entertainment. Plus, if you live in central or northern Jersey or even in New York, the closest live tables are at Parks Casino off exit 6 of the Jersey Turnpike. Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino, play thousands of hot slots, state-of-the-art sportsbook, a beautiful poker room, the Liberty Bell Beer Garden, and a collection of award-winning restaurants. Tons of places to go eat. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Tickets are on sale now for all of these headliners. Now listen to this. Just announced, coming November 26th, comedian Joey Diaz. You have September 26th, The Revivalists. September 27th, comedian Russell Peters. October 4th, Kansas. The 24th, Everclear. The 25th, Almost Queen. And then the 21st, Air Supply, man. Remember that? You're all out of love, man. You're all out of love. No, November 22nd is comedian Brian Regan. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all these shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Brian Regan's funny, man. I've seen his specials on various TV and the internet. He's great. So any other night on Wednesday night, got a really easy Philly story to write. I'm writing Jesús Luzardo. Jesús Luzardo pitches 7 innings, double-digit strikeouts. He finishes his season 15-7, 3.92 ERA, career high in innings, 183 and 2/3 innings, a career high in strikeouts, 216 strikeouts. Man, a heck of a trade for the Phillies, and in an offseason in which their free agent signings did not work out as hoped. That trade that happened just before Christmas, December 23rd, for a couple prospects, Starling Caba, Amarian Boyd. I mean, man, where would the Phillies be without Jesús Luzardo?
What would his ERA be without about 3 innings?
3.04 ERA. And he would probably be getting some Cy Young votes. Probably.
Down ballot,
yeah, down ballot Cy Young, but and he wouldn't be, going up against Skeen and Sanchez. But if he had a little bit of a lower ERA, I think he might get couple Cy Young votes. But what a heck of a season for Jesús Luzardo. And he said Wednesday night, the thing he's probably most proud of is how he bounced back from those 2 starts, Jim. Those horrific, nightmarish starts against the Brewers and the Blue Jays, where he gave up 20 earned runs in like 5 innings or something like that,
where everybody knew what every pitch was.
Yeah, and he said I cleaned up the tipping, and
and has he had a career high in innings? Yes, right.
Yes,
career high in innings,
career high in strikeouts.
He should be very proud of the career high in innings because he came in with a checkered health history, and he's proven to himself that he can get over that mountaintop. And I think all pitchers have to go through that because you have to build a workload. I think still the innings aren't what they used to be, but I think within a roster, you can still have workhorses, and he certainly can be one of them. So he's gotten over that innings hump, and I could see big things from him in October and beyond next year. I think he'd be a really, he's going to continue to be a mainstay of this rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way he's bounced back. Great kid. We've had him on the podcast. Please take a look at it. We've had it, a couple months ago. Really enjoyed, chatting with him. But he's one of those kids that, he's pretty emotional. Sometimes you see it on the mound, but he's pretty emotional. I think he calmed those down a little bit when things start to go a little south on him, where things start to break on him. I think it was a maturing season for him. I think he grew a lot. I think that's really important for him and his long-term success. But you're talking about a guy who's throwing 97, 98 miles an hour in like the last inning, sometimes 99 after 180 innings pitched in the big leagues. So health-wise, that's huge. And you can't say enough about the trade. Where would they be, as you said, Todd? Where would the third starter be in these playoffs if he did not exist on this team? It was a huge, huge acquisition. They didn't do great on their signings, but Dave Dombrowski did a hell of a job on his trades. Bader, Duran, and this guy to start off in December, whenever it was, be huge.
Yeah. You think back to that trade they traded, again, Starlin Caba at the time was a top 100 prospect, and Marion Boyd. Both young players, both struggled this season. I mean, maybe one or both of those guys become big-time stars for the Marlins, but, for the Phillies trying to win a World Series, you needed some rotation depth. So you trade those guys. Yeah, and if Starlin Caba ends up becoming an all-star, multi-year all-star shortstop, okay. But if the Phillies win a World Series this year or next or both years or whatever, you gotta take a shot and do that. So I love the
way Luzardo can lock up a right-handed hitter inside with paint, powerful paint, little cut.
Yeah, and I think it's something they should, and I think it's one thing that he sort of learned through watching guys like Suarez, who throws a 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside on right-handers and can lock them up. This guy throws a 97 or 98, and then you also see Christopher Sanchez doing the same thing. I think they've learned up from each other. These guys are know how important it is to get the ball in on them, because then they can use their other stuff, their off-speed stuff later on in the at bat or during the course of the at bat. And I think all three of them done a hell of a job.
Yeah. So the next time we see Jesús Luzardo, probably, if we are reading the tea leaves correctly, will be Game 3 of the NL Division Series on the road. We don't know where that will be, of course, but that is our best guess. It'll be Sanchez Game 1. We know that for sure. Almost certainly Ranger Suarez in Game 2, and then Luzardo will be pitching Game 3 on the road. So you feel pretty good about your chances with him on the road. So, guys, we'll be back. We got another episode coming on Friday. It's going to be a little bit of it'll be a little bit later. We're going to post it a little bit later, but you can watch it or listen to it at your leisure over the weekend. Have some fun. So we'll be back up, right, Jimmy? You'll be in the garden, maybe cleaning up the garden a little bit, listening to the pod.
I'll actually be doing it from the golf course, because I'm going to go play 9 or 18 right afterwards.
Oh, nice. There you go. I'll be here.
In a while.
Well, guys, we will. So we'll be back on Friday.
Can't wait. And until then, I will smell you later.
Smell you, Jim.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.